Well, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, and both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas, and that's relatively easy. I did it myself with the Dale Carnegie course, but it's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you. The second thing, which I'll get a certain criticism for not living it, but I do tell those students, that if I gave you a car and it'd be the only car you get the rest of your life, you take care of it like you can't believe. Any scratch, you'd fix that moment. You read the owner's manual, you keep a garage, do all these things, and you get exactly one mind and one body in this world. And you can't start taking care of it when you're 50. By that time, you'll have rusted out if you haven't done anything. So you should really make sure that you just remember that you just got one mind and body to get through life with and to do the most with it.
What about life advice?
Well, life advice is, the most important thing, aside from the things I've talked about already, is really who you associate with. You want to associate with people that are better than you are. I mean, basically, you'll go in the direction of the people that you associate with, and you want to have the right heroes. You want people, if you want to emulate somebody, you better pick very carefully who you want to emulate. And when obviously you can't pick your parents, they're going to have an enormous influence on you, but you don't get a choice on that. But you get choices as you go down the line, and who you admire, who you want to copy, and the most important for most people in terms of that decision is their spouse. It's also important in terms of a partner in business, but the partner in life is the most important. You want to pick a spouse that's a little bit better than you are, and then he or she, and you hope they don't figure it out too fast.
Looking at it from one side, looks like a rabbit, and if you look the other way, it looks like you're looking at a duck. And the mind is a very funny place. People call it an apperceptive mass, when you have all kinds of things going on in your mind, and then all of a sudden you see something different than what you were seeing before. Now, it took me in stocks, which I was intensely interested in. I had a decent IQ, and I was reading and thinking, and I read a paragraph actually in chapter 8, I think it was, of The Intelligent Investor, and it told me that I wasn't looking at the duck, I was looking, now it was the rabbit. It happens a few times in your life, and all of a sudden you see something important. Maybe it's learning how to get along with people. Whether actually it's better to be kind or not. If you want the world to love you, what you have to do, or whatever. Every smart guy that would get in trouble, and every now and then it produces some insight. It's better actually if it produces insight into your behavior than whether it produces insight to make.
And it's a terrible mistake to think you have to have an opinion on everything. You only have to have an opinion on a few things. In fact, I've told students, if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich, because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time.